apps that would be useful for your business, but I realized that if I did that presentation, I would probably just list off different construction apps that we use in our own business. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be a little bit more useful. So instead, I decided to do a presentation on the 10 benefits of using an app for your construction business. And there's a lot of different benefits. I'm going to go over basically why we kind of went this direction with Snappy, and then I'm going to show you the benefits of using Snappy because we went in that direction, I guess. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Like I said, this is 10 benefits of using an app for your construction business. It can be used for a lot of different businesses. It doesn't just have to be construction. You can use it for field work, inspections, what have you. Anything that you really can see a function for in these things that I'm going to list off. So a little bit about us. We're a company that has developed a platform that allows you to manipulate apps that we've created previously. So what I mean by that is we have apps on the App Store that you can go in and play with, and if you like those apps, you can just throw them into our what we call our Snappy Lab or our Snappy platform, and through the platform you can customize it to look and work for your business. So what I mean by that is the marketing and the colors and the branding and all that within the app is going to be customized to your business, and as well as the actual functionality of the app is going to be tied up to your data sources, whether it be a database that you're using in the office or whether it's a bunch of forms, whatever. It's basically creating software for your phone in an extremely easy and malleable environment. So I know that sounded a little fancy, but it's really not that complicated. So without further ado, I kind of want to move on to why this seems like such a big issue for us. So the reality is that a lot of the field work and construction work that goes on nowadays isn't being, I guess, the most efficient that it can be. A lot of people still use paper and pencil on the field. You can see like construction workers, they take out these massive blueprints out into the field, which inevitably get ruined. And it's just, it eats up into everyone's time slowly. So the app is basically there to alleviate that. Because everything's digital, everything happens much faster, and you can keep up on the status of your projects. You can assign tasks to specific employees. So what these numbers are here are the percentage of people in those industries that are using apps for these type of functions. So for example, if you're in the inspection or safety industry, only 40% of that industry is using apps for their work, which is crazy. You'd expect data collection and apps would go hand in hand, especially since apps can be used on a mobile device like a phone or something like that. But it's not the case. They still use paper and pencil. Scheduling and meetings, a lot of people use software on the computer like Google Calendars and stuff, which works fine on your phone. But if you want to have something a little bit more internal that isn't going to be put on, Google or whatever other program, the app can help you with that as well. So right now, only 30% of people that actually schedule meetings use an app to do those things. Keeping up on the status of projects, same thing. And these are things that you'd be able to check from the field. So if you're on the field and you need to know what the status of a totally different operation is, you can do it right from your phone as well. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it. And I guess I'll just jump into my top 10 benefits. So the first one is collecting daily logs, and this was actually how Snappy got started. Initially, we only had the Construction Daily Log app, and we realized that this was a big problem for people that work in the construction industry, whether it be because it's something that they had to do before they could actually start working in the beginning of the day, or if it was something that needed to be done before they could go home at the end of the day. It seemed like it was a problem no matter which way you looked at it. So the advantage of using daily logs on your phone is that, well, for one, obviously it's faster than writing. You can just click on whatever field it is, and a lot of the times we have like drop downs or radio buttons or check boxes or things that you can click a lot easier than even typing. Not to mention we also have things like speech to text or audio notes. So if you have a worker who maybe doesn't type very fast on their phone or their tablet, whatever, they could just click a button and they can just speak into the phone, and that'll be recorded as an audio file attached to the form that the phone sends out at the end. And of course, another cool thing is instead of having to file all the paperwork that you're filling out on a day-to-day basis, everything's going to be archived. So you don't have to keep these filing cabinets that are massive along the office, or you go looking through dozens and dozens of stacks of papers to find one specific paper. You can just go into the computer or go into your phone, use a couple filters, and you can find any specific date, person, or whatever. So one big thing, of course, daily logs, a lot of benefits there. The next one that I have here is the ability to do timesheets. And it's still crazy to me, again, that people use punch cards still. Like I see grocery stores even that use punch cards when a lot of these operations can be done right from something that's a lot less intrusive, like a tablet or a phone. And it's not an expensive thing to set up. And it's more accurate. There's just a lot of benefits. You can Excel things that you can, export things as Excel or PDF files, which makes everything a lot easier when you're using QuickBooks or other accounting software. So there's a lot of benefits to using this as a timesheet as well. And I mean, almost any business can use this. It doesn't have to be a construction business. Like I said, I just mentioned a grocery store, but it can be anything, a restaurant, I don't know, maybe you own a wood shop or something, like anything really, it doesn't matter. So timesheets, being able to use your timesheets within the app is extremely useful for that as well. So moving on, one of the biggest reasons that I think everyone likes to use an app is that it replaces your paper forms with a digital version of that form. So like I was talking about with the construction daily log, it allows you to fill out a form directly on your device, and you can print that form from your device as well. And this will ensure that you never lose them because they're digital. They're going to be backed up into your phone or backed up into a database somewhere, so there's no possible way you could lose that piece of paper. Whereas on a paper form, that mobile form, whereas on a paper form, it can just get ripped up, stepped on, or ruined while it's being transported from point A to point B. One service that Snappy does do is that we do your first form for free. So if you want to check that out, just go to snappy.com/mobileforms, and there's a link there that you can click. You just upload a PDF of your form, and it'll take you to a new dialog where you just kind of describe what you're looking for, and our developers will take a look at your form and do the first page for free. So very useful, and you can kind of see what the benefit of using a form is in the first place. So another cool thing is you can improve and expedite inspections. Again, same thing as the construction daily log where you have the access to a digital version of your form. There's some other benefits that come with inspections forms as well. For one, your inspectors always have all their forms. So regardless of if they're doing something for HVAC or electric or whatever it is, they're going to have everything that they need all the time. They don't have to carry around a suitcase or a portfolio, which I've seen dudes carry around like these binders full of forms for different occasions. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just get it right on your phone and pull up the one you need when you need it. Because everything's going to be standardized as well, all the forms are going to look the same. So you'll always be able to follow the structure that you want or whatever's easier for your business. I think that's it for this one. So let's move on. Another benefit that you can do, and all these things that I'm mentioning as well, they can be put inside of any app. So you can kind of mix and match which ones you like that I'm saying and make your own app out of it. It's very easy to do on our platform as well. So this one, for example, plans and drawings, we found that there was a huge hole in the market for people that wanted to use their blueprints and stuff on their phones. There's not a lot of apps that allow you to do that, and much less are there apps that allow you to customize the rest of the app while still retaining the ability to look at blueprints. But one of the biggest benefits, I think, of the blueprint drawings is that you can see the changes that your teammates make while they make them. So it's all in real time. So if everybody's going to be kept on the same page. If one person knows that something can't go somewhere, then everyone's going to know that, and that becomes very powerful when it's put into a perspective of how much time it's going to take to finish a project. So, but that's the biggest benefit. Obviously, you get access to other stuff like organizing your workload. I'm going to talk about that in the next slide. Actually, that's actually my next point. But another thing you can do too is attach notes and links to plans, which is really useful as well. And it's all very easy to do. You would just click, I believe, this little question mark up here for this specific app, and it'll allow you to attach, a whole other document to this to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So it's really useful for that. So I was saying that assigning tasks is another one. You can set up your app so that all your employees are going to be put into basically a drop-down list. And then if you need to assign the task to the employee, it's just a matter of finding them in that drop-down list. You click their name, click what task they're going to do, submit, and it sends a push notification to that employee's device. What a push notification is, in case you don't know, it's like those little pop-ups that come up on your phone whenever you get a text message or something like that. Same idea. So as soon as you find out that they need to do that task, they're going to find out too. Again, really useful at keeping everybody on the same page, and it keeps a digital log of what you told people to do, so there's no excuses later on down the line. So you can also manage your change orders. Say you are working on a project and your client suddenly decides he wants a big change. You can do that all right on the spot. You don't have to go and go back to the office or print out a whole new agreement. You can just pull out your phone or your tablet or whatever you use, make the changes. It'll all get backed up, and you can reprint a new invoice. Obviously, that allows you to avoid misunderstandings with your clients. Because everybody's going to have the same document, and you're going to have a digital proof of that document. So likewise, you can also instantly approve whenever something happens. So if someone sends something your way, like an invoice, and they need to know if it's going to be okay, you can send an approval right there, then and there, without having to even make a phone call. So super useful for changing orders as well. So tracking and monitoring equipment, a lot of different people use this functionality for different things. We have taxi cab apps, for example, and people might use this for tracking where their cars are. But we also have people that use it for trucks, or they use it for equipment that they're going to use in the field. There's a lot of different ways to use track and monitoring equipment. But my favorite part about it is that you can stay on top of the maintenance for your vehicle. So say you made a specific change to a vehicle, you changed the timing belt on one of them, say for example, and 3 months down the line you notice that the same timing belt breaks again, well then there might be a bigger problem underlying that. And unless you keep logs of what you're doing to those machines, you're never going to figure that out by yourself, especially with so many different machines that you have to maintenance on a day-to-day basis. So tracking and monitoring equipment is also super useful. Very easy to add as well. You just upload your database of vehicles or equipment or whatever it is, and you're good to go. The app will take care of the rest. So managing inventory, I wanted to keep this slide super simple since I know we're getting towards the end here and people might be falling off. So this is what I wrote for this. You can add inventory, remove inventory, find inventory, or report inventory all from your phone. And you don't have to do any, like I said, special work or anything to make this happen. All you have to do is upload your database, your data source, or whatever it is you're using to keep logs on all this, and the app will take care of most of the other work. Obviously, you can customize the app further if you needed to do other things, but if you're only using something to manage the inventory in a warehouse, the app comes pretty good in its stock vanilla form. And the last point I wanted to make is that all of our apps work offline. So if you have say you're working on a project that's in the middle of nowhere and you don't have reception, the cool thing is that all the information that you submit is going to get queued, and as soon as you get internet access, it'll automatically send that information. So you don't have to worry about resending it later, or stress out late at night when you wake up in the middle of the night and say, oh, I forgot to send that form. It'll send it automatically once you're good to go. So I did put a little testimonial here from one of our customers at History and Yale. So you can go ahead and read that. We've been working with History and Yale almost from the beginning, and they've been a big benefit to ours, and I'm sure we've been a big benefit to them. So yeah, Kim is great. And so this is the last slide here, just some stuff I want to go over before I close this out. Snappy has more apps than anyone in the industry, and I'm not kidding when I say that. We have, I think we're about 400 apps in now, and we have ones for basically anything under the sun, from nightclubs to expense reporting to construction logs to taxi apps. So this little picture I got right here is just a small fraction, but I just wanted to put a picture of this here because on the main webpage, if you go to snappy.com and scroll down a little bit, you'll see something similar to this. So I want people to be able to recognize that's where you would go to find one of these apps. If you have a specific industry you're working for, you can just click this drop down here and it will show you the different apps that we work with. So you can join Snappy for a free trial with any of those apps. So you get 2 weeks. You can try them out as much as you want. If you want us to customize the app, or you can customize the app yourself, but if you want us to customize the app, we can do that for you. You just need to contact our sales team, which their number's at the bottom right there, that 188 number. And then, like I said, we also have a do-it-yourself platform. If you go to the main website, and then I think it's under services, you're going to look for Snappy Labs, and it will take you to where our form editor and our app editor is. And using those, you can actually make an app yourself. A little bit more of a learning curve, but it is pretty fun once you get the hang of it. And it'll give you a lot of flexibility on what you can do later on down the line without having to pay anything extra besides the subscription fee. So that's my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, I'll stick around for a little bit, but if not, tune in for next week. We're going to keep doing different webinars like this to kind of show people what Snappy is about. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can contact support@snappy.com, or you can contact me directly at steven@snappy.com.